Hi everybody, Jedi Jon here, coming to you today from the CertNexus headquarters. We're going to be doing 5 questions on IoT. All right, I'm here with Megan Branch from CertNexus. Megan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, John. Thank you for inviting me for our 5 questions today. As you said, I'm with CertNexus, and my official title is as Chief Operating Officer and Chief Product Officer. So I get to do the fun job of making sure that everything works and also creating all of the products within our certification and credentialing product line around emerging technologies.
Wow, we're getting 2 for 1 here today. That's great.
Very exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Megan, as we discussed before the shoot, we went ahead and asked a bunch of logical operations customers for their questions around IoT. And we figured where better to go than the IoT experts here at CertNexus. So if it's all right with you, what we're going to do is we're going to run through, we have 5 questions here, each submitted by a training partner from Logical Operations. So, some of these are from existing CertNexus ATPs, and some of them are from customers who have either never heard of CertNexus or who are brand new and trying to decide what they want to do.
Okay.
So we've got a range of questions here. I'll put you on the spot. Okay, first question from one of our customers is what makes CertNexus different from some other certification houses like EC Council or ISACA?
So that's a great question. The other companies that you mentioned really focus on just cybersecurity. And what they have done is to expand into cybersecurity, whereas CertNexus, we like to look at all emerging technologies that are impacting customers today. Organizations, companies, corporate entities. And so we develop a long think, build, and secure philosophy. And that takes a look at all aspects within an organization. So at our think level, we design our certifications for business leaders, people that are implementing the strategy, may not be technical by trade or by experience, but are making decisions that influence the technology that run the company from a business strategy. And then at our build level, we address the people that are implementing those technologies. And at our secure level, we address the people that are responsible for securing those technologies. And we do that across not just cybersecurity, but the Internet of Things, and also we're delving into artificial intelligence as well.
Wow, that's pretty great. So that's exciting to hear. Sounds like you have a lot of different product portfolios then. So perhaps we should do a follow-up video sometime on some of those other ones.
That would be fun.
Great. So second question we got is from a company that's starting to get requests, and they're asking, they're starting to get requests around IoT training. So they want to know specifically what are the certifications that you offer and how are they different in the marketplace?
So I want to go back to that model that we build all of our products on. So within the IoT portfolio or the stack that we have our IoT Biz. Now that is a half-day course and associated credential, which a credential means that it's self-paced, you take it in your own time, and you get a badge that acknowledges the fact that as a business leader, maybe a project manager, non-technical project manager, or perhaps somebody in marketing or sales that really needs to understand the core concepts of IoT. So that's the IoT at the think level.
Okay.
At the build level, we have our certified IoT practitioner, and that is a 3-day course with associated certification, which is a high-stakes certification. And that certification is the only IoT certification that has ANSI accreditation.
Wow.
Which means that we follow the standards set by the ISO 17024 standards. And it's a rigorous process to create that certification, and then we're lucky enough to have the courseware that maps to it that Logical Operations is a partner of ours for.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then we have one more.
Okay, all right, we got one more.
So we have our certified Internet of Things security practitioner, which is our newest IoT product within the portfolio. And that addresses people that are responsible for securing the IoT infrastructure, not just the devices and not just the cloud, but want to have a holistic approach to security as it pertains to IoT.
Awesome. So I think piggybacking on that, what some people are really interested in is the advantages of your certifications over what might be offered by vendors that are out there. So IoT vendors who will deploy something and then offer training on it. What's the difference between what you guys are doing versus what they're doing?
Yeah. Well, I think it's very important to engage your vendors very early in the process and understand what the requirements are for their particular softwares or offerings. I don't want to dismiss that, but what we do is we provide a vendor neutral approach. It doesn't mean we're vendor agnostic, so we do acknowledge the AWSs in the world, the Microsoft in the world, and we acknowledge that, but we offer that foundation for people to make decisions around operational decisions within implementing IoT and the security around it. So that's the biggest difference. It's a complement to those vendor specific, but it really does offer the broadest opportunity to have practitioners and security practitioners within your organization, and even prior to making those decisions, really enable your business leaders to be fully aware of all of the considerations in terms of making those important IoT decisions.
Awesome. All right, we're over halfway done. Here's a question from one of our CertNexus ATPs.
Okay.
Who are the best candidates inside an organization to talk to about IoT training? So who needs IoT training?
So you know what I'm going to say. Everybody needs IoT training.
Everybody needs
Everybody needs IoT training. But seriously, it really it depends upon where the organization is in their IoT strategy. So many organizations, some of the larger enterprise organizations, are further along in their IoT journey than some smaller or mid-sized organizations. I would say looking at that think, build, secure model. Have you made decisions? Do you feel like the decisions you've made about your technology, bringing IoT devices into your organization, whether you are going to be implementing that as a strategy to enhance your business or not. So you want to make sure your leaders understand the technology and can support their IT departments and their security, their CISOs, to make decisions and have that dialogue. So that's where that IoT biz falls in. So really those people making those decisions, those investments, the people writing the checks, and then the people selling and supporting it. Because oftentimes we have technologies out there that salespeople are out supporting, and they really need a general understanding of how their technology ties into other offerings or what their customers need. And then, of course, your IT department, because there are considerations. I remember having a conversation with somebody, and they said, well, I don't really need IoT training because, we understand cloud. Well, cloud is really important to understand, but it's just one component across the whole ecosystem. So enabling your IT department to understand all of the pieces and parts and how they interact is very important. And then think of all the devices that we introduce into our organizations, whether it's the lights in the ceiling, the phones on the desk, whether it's the thermostat on the wall. Those are all IoT devices that all inherently have a security risk. So making sure that you have a framework and understand how to implement that framework within your organization to stay secure is important. So I would say leadership, definitely your IT department, as well as the people that are responsible for your cybersecurity, whether that's inside your organization or if you're outsourcing it to a third party.
So here's our last question, and this one comes from me, because I want you to look into your crystal ball, and I want you to tell me where you see IoT and IoT training in the next 5 years.
Wow, I wish my crystal ball was a little bit less murky because, in terms of emerging technology, there are so many pathways that it could go. I really think that addressing security issues around IoT is going to become very important. Understanding how to manage the data and using things like artificial intelligence to extract and manipulate that data and really build models to make us better, healthier consumers as well as organizations. There are going to be more specific areas because you think about the generations that are coming into the workforce today, much smarter, much more savvy, have been dealing with IoT devices most of their life. So you're going to have very specific areas. as well as still maintaining that general knowledge to level set and be able to have those discussions within an organization and address all the technologies. It's pretty exciting. I was just talking to somebody this morning about the idea in terms of certifications. How can we use virtual reality to validate skills? I think that's a really exciting possibility. Performance, looking at performance and measuring performance and validating that, really exciting things. So, 5 years is going to look very different than today.
Well, thank you so much, Megan. We really appreciate your time. You did a great job answering these 5 questions. I know some of them were pretty difficult. So we will go ahead and thank our viewers. And I'm Jedi Jon, and may the sales be with you.